What's going on, y'all? Brass Tacks here. And wow, it's been one heck of a year. We've we've seen a lot. We've seen and heard a lot. And me being me, I wanted to take my time before I spoke on a couple of things because I saw how that ended for some folks. Not too well. Not too well. They, um, they could have decided to do things a bit differently, but you know, sometimes emotions get high, and when your ego's on the line, you try to do things in interest, or you think your supporters or contributors want to see. One of the things that, among others, that bothered me was seeing the evolution of the Manosphere, Black Manosphere specifically, and how some people chose to go a route that was, while other people decided to go another that some would say maybe had more integrity. Some would say it would be a little more honest. And I'm not going to fault any man for making his money. I'm not going to fault any man for doing what they need to do so that they can live and live their life to the best of their ability and to enhance their quality of life. I gotta be honest with you. It kind of hurt. It kind of hurt a little bit. It seemed to switch it up. It kind of hurt them. They knew better. They had to have known better. And they had to have known better because they demonstrated an intellect that wouldn't allow them to be taken advantage of the way some people would. They distinguished themselves as being people that thought for themselves, people that were able to analyze people's motivations and ways of thinking. And I took time off and I watched how my big bros, so to speak, were doing things. I watched how some people decided that they were going to help others advance their careers or advance their channels. And I have to say it was impressive, man. Like I'm not going to fault another man for doing something like that. The problem I have, kind of, it just doesn't sit well with me. I saw a number of content creators who, as their channels evolved, they took up stances that were contrarian in nature. I saw people switch their names up. I saw people switch their locations up. I saw people switch their target demographics up. I saw people do a lot of things. And, the thing about changes is that you can't please everybody. You know that. Any thinking black man knows that. Any thinking white man knows that. Any thinking Asian man, any thinking First Nation man, we know that. The problem came when once they had chosen a side and the side inevitably was losing or lost, they decided to reinvent themselves. They didn't double down. They didn't stand on it. They didn't carry on that good fight. And I believe that had a lot to do with the revenue. It had a lot to do with where traffic was going. We had people that were saying, man, you can't use the death of a celebrity as a way to get views, but then literally turn around and do the same thing. And I'm not going to name names because we've all seen it. We know we know who they are. But this is just an example. If your video is 2 hours and 15 minutes long, and you're featuring the death of, you're featuring a thumbnail of someone who recently passed, and you don't speak about that person for 2 hours because you're busy going on some tirade or trying to throw some form of a pity party because you need to go live, you need to make money because you're paying your bills on a schedule. So you get people in and then try to save face. You talk about whoever is on that thumbnail for 4 to 5 minutes and then summarize your rant or your sob story and in the live stream. And then turn right around and criticize people who do the very same thing. Level of hypocrisy is ridiculous. And their content remained the same. You know, they were kind of like, kind of trolling, I guess, messing with other people that they knew or they were in opposition with. You know, that's not really an issue because at the end of the day, they maintain. I'm gonna switch it up every now and again, but I'm still gonna be me. I'm still I'm still gonna spit that shit. I'm still going to deliver the content that people know me for. And then we have people who change their names, depending on the wave. You know, if they started taking L's because the sides they were taking were losing, the name would change, the content would change, and then we would have someone who may have been progressive or liberal in a sense turn conservative. And it was almost as if they didn't quite understand that they were being hypocritical. It was almost as if they had deceived themselves into believing something so that they could go out and deceive us. And we had times where people would be like, "Hey, this is how I make money. This is if you're doing this for free, you're stupid." I've been able to quadruple or double or triple or whatever my income, off this YouTube game. You know, we had people that have been hustling and things, some of the things they said, some of the things they did, so that we continue patronizing their channel. So we can, there was a certain amount of deception on the content creator's part, and there was a certain amount of deception on the viewer's part. We ignored stuff, and they purposely did not mention certain things, or they glossed over a moment, or contributed to, not being prepared for the discussion. And that it was talented people that are putting out content on a regular basis. I've watched it, I've subscribed, I've donated, I've shared the videos, and I gotta be honest with you, man. Like I sometimes I feel like a sucker. I feel like I was taken advantage of. I feel like I was manipulated. And then, feelings aside, I sit back and I analyze it and I think about it, and then I start realizing I was deceived. I start thinking about it and realize that I put my head in the sand so that I can continue believing in what this person was saying and viewing this content faithfully. You know, we all, we know that you need a certain amount of likes and views and stuff like that, and then YouTube promotes you more because has X amount of people watching. It may not just be about the ads. It may just be about the fact that you're getting sponsors. It may be the fact that you're getting super chat money. You're getting cash app money. You're getting PayPal money. You're getting people sending you stuff to your PO box. You stand a lot to gain. So getting a $2 donation may be one thing. Getting a $50 donation may be one thing. Getting people to send you samples so you can advertise that stuff or promote it. um, Going on certain panels to promote your merchandise and your channel. There's a lot to be gained. There's a lot to be lost if you mismanage that. And if somebody comes along and starts poking holes in your theories and in your life, you know, a couple content creators in particular pointed out that the irony of it was is that those people that were being accused were saying that we need to do things. We don't do things we because of a woman. We don't do things for their acceptance. People were just trying to go in the opposite direction. Wherever a black woman or transgender or homosexual or bi or lesbian, people were going. They were literally being contrarian. And for people who promoted themselves as being intellectually adept, scholarly, erudite, above the fray, unwilling to get into the muck, they slowly but surely revealed that that was all a sham. And we were getting hustled by hustlers. We were being swindled. We were being bamboozled. And, you know, it's not fair to them to say it's all their fault because it's not. It's our fault also because they gave us clues along the way to let them know that this was a revenue stream. Excuse me, to let us know it was a revenue stream, that they were doing this for that, you know, this had became, by this I mean YouTube became the integral part of their income, that their egos were attached to this, that this was bigger than just going on here and speaking their mind. And some people changed up because of the money. A lot of them. Some people changed up because the crowd changed, and they didn't want to be a part of that. And they knew that their message wouldn't be well received because some people were like, "No, that's not." Choosing to willfully consume a certain amount of media or information that they could continually hold up this biased point of view, and then promoting that, going live and sharing that information was infecting other people, and they were continuing to do the same thing. And unfortunately, you know, I know it's cliche, but knowledge is power. If you're only looking at a slice of it so that you can promote your agenda, there's a certain amount of deception there. We all could have been led to a certain conclusion on if we were chose to, if we were let to, excuse me, but that wouldn't have brought in the dollars. You know, it stinks, it sucks, it was. The challenge is for the people that aren't engaged in this type of behavior is to be on the level and say, look, this may be a piece of information that's out here. I may subscribe to this train of thought, but there's other information. And while the argument may be stronger on the opposition, I choose to believe that. And hiding and changing your name and trying to manipulate you and the algorithm so that you can come up on somebody so that your content, your channel can be associated with somebody else. and seeing people for who they are, and acknowledging to ourselves who we are, and acknowledging to ourselves what we believe. It's tough. We can do it. Just may not fill your pockets with some money right now. Anyway. I've seen and I've witnessed a couple, several YouTubers who stood on it, like on some G shit, and it didn't look like they were going to be around for 2 months. But then there was this resurgence because once people saw seeing that, oh man, this person actually been on this square for a minute, and he may not be right all the time. At the same time, he just doesn't switch, you know, each time the wind blows, each time his pockets get low. You know, if you're putting your money into a spreadsheet and you're looking at your money and seeing that it's not going like this, it's not going like that, so then you got to start a beef with somebody, with the opposition, so that you can get more views and get more, basically, stir the pot. You know, some people do that, man. Some people do that, and I'm not saying it's wrong or right. I'm just saying that there's something to be said about these content creators who have stayed true and been on their square and doubled and tripled down, especially when the information being provided, you know, wasn't necessarily popular, but at the same time, there was a level of integrity to it that couldn't be refuted. Once people got tired of being deceived, once people got tired of being led astray, once people got tired of being talked down to and belittled, and chastised, and ridiculed, they started looking elsewhere, seeing that these people were they were about something. People decided that what, I'm gonna do this, and I'm not going to do it because there's money involved. I'm going to do it because it's the right thing to do because I actually want to help somebody. Versus the people that say they're trying to help people, but really it's about not working a traditional 9 to 5, 40 or 50 hours a week. And like I said, that's cool because nobody really wants to really work 50, 60 hours a week sometimes. But if that's your prime motivation, I think you're open to deceiving other people so that you can continue to fill your coffers, so you can continue to fill that collection plate. And I think that allows you to exploit other people. And unfortunately, man, that seems like that's the name of the game now. Making sure that your pockets stay full, making sure the crowd still comes in, and you know, it just stinks, man, because you thought that there was actually going to be a movement here, going to be about something. And we knew there was going to be some hanger on. We knew there were going to be some shiesty niggas that were going to be around in there and stuff like that. But at the same time, there was going to be a level of integrity there that couldn't be manipulated. But little by little, we saw that people weren't about what they were really saying they were about. They got exposed. The channel shifted, the name shifted, the target shifted. We started talking about relationships instead of what was convenient. Hey, the wind blows. That's where some of these folks are going. And unfortunately, the target audiences, the demographics, there are some thinkers out there. There are some people that are choosing to see this, that can see the scheme, but the vast majority can't, or they won't, because they need something to believe in. And a lot of that's where we are, man. I want to thank you for giving me this time. Take care of yourselves. And remember, think for yourselves. Consume some of this media, but realize that there might be a motivation behind it. Brass tacks out.